Hi guys, today we're at Topaz Detailing London, where I'm joined by the co-founder of Topaz, Mazen Namo, who's going to tell us a little bit about what we're going to do with the McLaren 650S.
Absolutely, Tim. We're going to be, the car's booked in for a level 3 detail. We're going to be doing a pre-detail wash, which includes decontaminating the car and getting it ready to go into the polishing bay.
Okay.
We'll be masking the car up, paint correcting it, and then getting it ready for the film.
Right, let's get started.
Let's go.
First stage of this process is to bring the car into the wash bay. It's going to be cleaned up here using some Iron X, which is going to attack some of the hard contaminants that are on the surface. As the car was, you could feel some roughness to the paint, and this is going to get rid of that, and it's going to look quite cool in the process. You can immediately see the Iron X at work, melting off a lot of the iron particles on the surface here. It's all going a different colour. Also here, the first stage of cleaning the wheels. The wheels and arches getting their first jet wash. You can see quite how much dirt was in there before. You can see all the bits of iron from the Iron X melting away off the surface, just being jet washed off now. The car's just going to be moved back a touch so that the wheels can be attacked from another angle. Wheels get their second stage. Next up, we're going to dry steam the engine bay, which is the ultimate way to degrease it. The car is being snow foamed. This always looks quite funny, turning it completely white. This loosens up any surface dirt and just makes the car a little bit more lubricated when you come to cleaning it up. With the foam on the car, little brushes go around all of the lines and gaps, and awkward to get places that you can't go with a mitt, just pulling out all of that dirt that's been loosened up by the snow foam. Before drying the car, another layer of foam is going to be put on it, and just like last time, that's used to lubricate, but this time for the mitts rather than for the brushes, just to clean down the surfaces. Some glass touch is being applied to the surface so that it's lubricated, ready for claying. The entire car is going to be clayed before it gets dried off.
Just feel it.
Here.
You'll feel it.
So right here we have one little mark that hasn't come out, and this is where you can use slightly more aggressive clay, red clay here, and it's pulled that straight up. It's gone. Cool. Drying of the car is done in two parts. First is using very, very specific microfiber cloths that obviously don't cause any damage to the surface. The final stage of the pre-detail preparation is using the air blur, so it's quite loud. This goes around all of the lines of the car, just getting out all of the remaining water. The second man going around behind, just cleaning that up as they go. Obviously being careful to hold it back off the surface of the car so it doesn't damage anything. After this, we will be able to take a look at the current state of the paintwork. The wash stage is complete and the car is now on the ramp here inside the Topaz workshop. It looks pretty good to me, but we're going to be shown in a bit all of the imperfections with the paint. First up though, it needs masking, so different materials and tapes of course used to protect on the rubber seals and all the plastic parts, just to make sure nothing gets damaged. And now let's take a proper look at this. So we're being rejoined by Mazen, who's going to show me around the car and a little bit about the imperfections. So where are we at? What's happening now?
Let's have a look, Tim. Basically, the car's masked, it's ready to be paint corrected. So if I show you the various defects that are present on this car, and cars in general, you have what's known as holograms, which a lot of people might not notice, but on a bright sunny day, when the sun hits the car, you might notice this 3D type of effect on the lacquer of the car.
The grey lines that sort of come out of the side of the light.
Correct. So if you look at them, where the beam hits, either side of it, that's what's known as holograms.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what we're going to refine. That's
bring it down to a clean reflection, right?
exactly. This is what's caused through the lacquer not being refined correctly, hence why you have the holograms left over. So an abrasive compound has been used, but an intermediate and a finishing compound haven't been utilised. Now, if you look at that panel there, where the roof section is, that's another example of holograms.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that are quite clearly evident. And if you look at this particular panel here, you get a haze.
Okay, yeah, the reflection is much less clear.
There is no reflection, there's no clarity, and that's due to the fact that those are micro sanding marks that are left from the factory where the paintwork's been flattened and not corrected thoroughly enough. Now, if you look at the spoiler, which is a darker colour, you'll be able to see these defects more evidently.
Okay, yes, that stands out. You can see those.
You can see a cocktail of everything. Holograms, scratches, all sorts of imperfections and defects.
Yeah, I can see all of those marks.
You can see those. I mean, you can see them right there. Yeah? Okay. So, and another example of sanding marks, if you come over here.
Yeah.
Down there.
Look down there.
You can see.
Oh, yeah. Straight above the line. Oh, yeah.
Above the line. Yeah.
Okay, so stuff like that, it all gets refined, basically.
Correct. so it all gets refined through 3 to 4 stages of paint correction, and then you won't have any more sanding marks, holograms, swirl marks, and the like. And that's what the paint correction stages are designed to do.
And exactly what a colour like this deserves. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Exactly.
Right. Thank you very much. Let's get on with the process, I guess.
Let's get on with it. Fantastic.
So there are 3 stages to the machine polishing on the car. You've got cutting, refining, and finishing. First up, cutting with the more coarse brush. We've reached the end of the first day. I've got a torch here. Just have a look immediately. You can see much cleaner reflections off the bonnet there. You can see the bulb of the torch perfectly. Just as a reminder, if I come back round, you can see here holograms. There we go. Big difference. Whole car is going to be so tidy at the end of this. I'm going to leave the car here, and while I'm here, let's have a quick nip around, because we've also got some other cool toys here. Veyron there, this awesome Zonda 760 Roadster here. Squeeze it down the side. McLaren F1 GTR. All cars in for work here at Topaz. Very clean engine bay on that Bentley. And in the paint protection room, we have the McLaren P1 and a Speciale being paint protected up there. So it's pretty cool in here at Topaz. Lots going on anyway. We'll leave it for day 1 and return again to continue on the McLaren in the morning. Day 2 at Topaz, and we're on to the second part of the machine polishing. This time round, the brush is a more refined, finer pad, so it just refines things yet further. You can see as we look at the front here where it's already been done, but not yet wiped down, and that's from the last round, although the whole car just looks incredible. If I come around and show you the spoiler, where we had some horrible issues before, significantly improved, although more work still to be done. It takes quite a few hours going around the car to do this. A lot of people might be wondering why the factory doesn't do it or so on, but quite frankly, a machine can never have the same effect as a man working on it manually. And given the hours, companies just don't put it in at the factory. Although many have connections and setups to do it, but Topaz do a fantastic job. So it's a bit more carrying on with this for the next few hours before we take a look at the improved paint surface. Time to unmask. Next Next is to go over the entire car with a microfiber, wiping off all of the compound that's left from the machine polishing. The paintwork side of the 650S is complete, and with the torch here, you can see the bulb reflecting off the car in a way that it just didn't quite do before. Very clean there on the carbon. Let's come and look around here. This was particularly troublesome before. Much better. Look at that. What about on the buttresses? Because those weren't very good before either. Much, much better reflections. I suppose the camera won't quite show it, but the whole car just looks so bright and sparkly. The lighting in here is all set up for bringing out any issues. But it's so vibrant, and there's lots and lots of yellow pearlescent flake going on in the car. But that is it for this stage. The car is now going to head over to the other side over there for paint protection film, and then we'll carry on with the detailing when the film is applied so that we can get going with all of the interior side of things and just final touch up. So let's get it over to protection. So the car has now had paint protection film applied throughout, and it's so good because you can't even tell it's there at all. Every panel is protected by film, even the headlights, all of the carbon parts and everything else. So continuing with the detailing and cleanup process. The tyres and wheels have been looked at. The interior is being completely done. Every surface brushed down, cleaned, prepared. Getting it looking absolutely spotless. Tyres are dressed, windows are cleaned, and this is probably the cleanest this McLaren 650S is ever going to look. It's truly fantastic how good the car is looking. We've shown you the entire process, so you've been able to see the differences already, but it's amazing. And with all of the lighting in here, you can see every reflection. So much cleaner and more precise than they were before. Especially on the carbon. The carbon fiber's made by far the biggest difference. And of course, we now have my number plate on the car, which is pretty cool. But it's looking wonderful. And the protection film, you can't even tell it's there. And obviously, I'm going to show you that process in an entirely separate piece. But just look at that reflection of the lights on the bonnet. Perfect. Only downside is after this year's adventures, it's probably going to pick up a little bit more grime, so I might have to come back here to Topaz, but for now, it's looking truly amazing. Absolutely amazing. A big thanks, of course, to Topaz for letting me film the process and show you guys. It's not strictly a how-to, but, you know, just showing you what goes into making a car like this. Get the finish it deserves. So yeah, hope you enjoyed seeing that. Thanks again to everyone involved. So cool, can't wait to get the car out on the road through this year, and then inevitably back here to get it tidied up again afterwards. But thank you very much for watching. I will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers. Already and sorted out here, and then we're going to go inside for that one, the Mantis front splitter finished in the carbon fibre. That pack also gets us